Welcome in, guys. We are going to do a draw along today. That's right. Hold on one sec. You know what? Uh, so, it's not even funny. I shouldn't be laughing, but there were these fires up in Northern California. There's some down here in Southern California, but the situation is really bad in Northern California. And to get some news, a friend recommended this. I think it's a Twitch streamer that does, like, it's called Agenda Free News. And but a lot of times, I get it. It's homegrown news, like basically streaming out of his house. Um, but there's a lot of like, oh, hold on a second, hold on, and like he's looking at a screen, and then it just reminded me of this stream and kind of how there's all this dead air, um, and how odd it is to see that in comparison to a normal sort of agenda packed media coverage. All right, so I think there's some people I wanted to thank. Right now and later, thanks for the bits. SM Carty 313, good seeing you yesterday. Superhero Swim Art, also. Oh, he's drawing on a plane. The people next to me are going to hate me. Why? I find that generally when you draw on a plane, a lot of people are very intrigued. It's a great way of striking up conversations and meeting people. Jeff UTV, Jeremy L. Joe, Duke Rockwell, Golf Boy Sunday, Delta Oracle 257, LB Buddha 19, Funny Bob 85, Arctic Sama, and ATT. I know that's not it, but I like to say it. AT&T, why my Cyclo swag. Thank you guys all for supporting the stream. All right, so we're going to do something we haven't done in a while, which is a draw along. We're going to draw the Joker today. Um, I usually start with a lead holder. A lead holder is a device. All the stuff I use is on the home Twitch page. You can order it from Amazon. Everything's available now. Some of the stuff used to be harder to find, but now through the power of online shopping, it's all available and can be in your doorstep in a day. So this holds lead. I don't sharpen it, partly because I'm lazy and I don't clean out the shavings from the sharpener. But also I do like the blunter tip because it's not as sharp and won't dig into the paper. This is a Bristol board, 9 by 12. Let me turn down the light a little bit. It's a little intense. There we go. All right, and we're going to start with the Joker. Now, normally I would just do a head, but I think we're going to go ahead and, because we have like an hour and a half, I have a hard out at 11, 10:45, 10:50. So let's start with the spine, like kind of like a backwards S. And that might not be the spine of the character, but this is kind of the general gist, the gesture of the Joker, is he's not a guy that's going to necessarily stand up straight. Daniel J. Bosco, Wolf to Fear, thank you very much for subbing. Yeah, let me turn this down a little bit more. Still a little too intense. All right, so the head is here. Move that up a little bit. All right. So like a little egg-shaped thing, that will be the head. And about near the top of the page, because we're going to fill it out here. And I'm thinking he's got to pose like like this. Um, so we're going to see the socket of this shoulder right there. And I like to draw like the torso like this. And that looks a little wide for the torso of the Joker, but I can revise it later. The other socket is hidden from our views on the other side of that torso. Here's the bottom of the rib cage, or one of the ribs, and the back of the rib cage looks like that. So from the side, this torso thing would look like this, or a 3/4 maybe more of a 3/4. This black part here being this part here. Connect the neck up into this slot right there. Sir Richard 706 and Chunky Style 3030. Johnzel. Eloidy Ranks, Platypusm have all subbed. Thank you so much for the support. Wolf to Fear, Daniel J. Bosco. Spengy G. Okay. Now, I'm going to have him have his pelvis kind of thrust out slightly. So if you draw the midpoint of the head and the torso down, they're kind of in the same line. I'm going to move the torso is good. The pelvis, sorry, is going to be a little forward of that. So just draw kind of pair of tighty whities. This is kind of mirrors the pelvic bone structure, but you can sort of see where the center of mass is more forward. Got that? Hello, Mike G13 from Sweden. Einstein Johnson, hello. Midi Delvey is with us. M Tellus 1, hi. Zarek 650, hello from Russia. Wow, we've got quite a few people all around. Moster City, nothing like waking up to a handsome man in the morning. Should pay attention to the stream. Look away from your partner. Pax Paxis, Guten Tag from Germany. Hello from Norway. I think people are just making up countries now. Portugal, Greece. Where were all you people before? What's going on? Poland, Romania. I think you guys are just making this along. Hello from Estonia, Latvia, Kondak, Newburgh, Indiana. Now that is a pretty remote place. Brazil, come to Brazil. Punker 13, good to see you. Punker 13 was one of the few streamers that came down and saw me at SAM yesterday. Storytelling across media that San Diego Comic-Con people throw in San Diego. Superhero Swimmer Art and his dad popped in from Idaho. Punker 13 from LA. SMC Carty 313 and his wife. Poop Kid, of course. Wahi. Anyone else I miss? Philadelphia, yes. PJ Bicer. Speaking of that area, what a World Series. I haven't watched any of the games yet, but wow, it's been incredible. I thought the Nationals were going to just sweep it, crush the Astros, but it's nuts. Hey, we got another mod in Crispy Egg Roll. It's woken up. Good morning. 9:30, Crispy. What's going on? Slovakia, nice. Timbuktu, India. Are you guys really from all these countries? I have no idea. Crispy Egg Roll, taking a break from playing, binging on Destiny. Welcome in. I did get Call of Duty. I do need to. I want to load that up. Okay, so let's get back to the drawing. Are you guys? Is this moving too fast? Slow enough? SMCarty313. No, most of we have my wife's family, all the relatives. They live up in Santa Rosa, so they all just lost, or a lot of them have lost power and have been are under a mandatory evacuation. So all night and most of this morning has been kind of dealing with all that news and just making sure everyone's okay. All right, so now we're going to kind of connect the torso into the hips, and we're going to use kind of these concave lines like this, right? With Batman, I probably would have done straight up and down lines, but the Joker is just a little, like, more exaggerated. All right. Portfin, hello from Denmark. Yeah, it's like 93 miles per hour, which is super. And the danger is the winds. because it can take an ember and throw it like a mile in distance, and then how long the winds are going to be active, which I understand is like almost twice as much as it was 2 years ago when there was that big fire. Um, Hello from your booty. All right, poop kid. TMI. All right. Okay, now from these slots, same thing. That shoulder slot there, the leg slot goes back there. So we can throw one leg or thigh straight down, and it ends in a ball there, which represents the knee. The other one's thrown out like this, roughly the same length, also ends in a knee, right? So that is roughly, what, a 30-degree angle. That's 90, and that's 45. That's probably, yeah, that's like 30, maybe 32 degrees. McMoonshines. I'm going to the store today. Got Batman Hush and a couple Jack Kirby's. Bless you. Thank you very much. Nick's illustrations. I do draw the Joker with less muscle for sure. Wildstorm CCG, 32 degrees. I forgot my protractor. Do you guys all remember having protractors? I don't even think they do. They, if I'm in the protractor business, I'm getting out. Queen City Amusements has resubbed. He's got his 2-year badge. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Rock and Roll Aim 207 has cheered. Thank you very much. Twin12 has resubbed as well. Rock and Roll 207. All the tools I use are on my stream, or the streaming landing page. This is just a lead pencil holder. I like it because it has a blunter, smoother tip. I hope you guys are all caught up at this point. All right, so out of this arm socket, I don't know what pose I was going to do. Sometimes when you construct a figure like this, it can look a little stilted or stiff because you're doing it piece by piece rather than looking at the sum totality of it. So let me think about in my head what that pose is going to be. It's like, ta-da. So, all right, so at this point, I'm just going to play around a couple different ones. You can do this part or not, but a lot of times I will start doing combinations. Let me see how this... wondering if I should do some sort of weird heart thing. How does that look? Okay. I know I like this arm, right? So this shoulder, I gotta draw through there. What does this look like? It looks like a V, like a boomerang shape here with like a round ball which represents the fist. He's gonna be holding a gun which goes over here. It's the Joker, so we can kind of diffuse the imagery here by making a joke. Oh, and that flag, this banner is like a flag, so basically the way I do it usually is like a backwards S, another backwards S that's in parallel, like that. It's the same kind of structure I use for locks of hair. Not Tony Stark, correct. I'll do it again. Here's the backwards S1. Here's another backwards S2. They kind of meet right here. That's fine. A little gap there. banners tied to the pole. I think I'm gonna go here and so it's the bunny ears with like a square next to it, which represents these two fingers. Oops, sorry. If you're in the UK, good morning, good afternoon. Gabriel TK, this character is the Joker. McMoonshoes and JMox, Sketch 22, RCJP UK have all subbed. Superhero swimmer art, plain Wi-Fi lagging. Awesome, I love it. Has anyone else streamed? Are you really in the plane streaming, Clayton? That's awesome. I'm like, how many other? I know people have streamed from church. All right, so with this, from the palm, we're gonna do kind of like this jug, or is it a vase? Forearms are kind of like a vase here, right? Where you put a flower. Pandemic streamed on a beach once. I know people have streamed from their honeymoon. Hopefully not the honeymoon bed. Oh, I can hear superhero swimmer art groaning on the plane. Boogieing down. I understood your dad, so Clayton. That was a term we used to use. Anyway. I'm streaming from DMV. That's right. Awesome. Definitely not Dylan. I respect those that are hard at work at the DMV. Waiting in line. Okay. But what I do with this, let's say it's a glass vase, is I usually heat it on one side so that it kind of bends. So think about, it's like an eggplant. It's like the eggplant emoji. Think of the eggplant emoji as a forearm. I see this a lot online. I just see forearms. I don't know what. It's like, yes. Anyway. Okay, so my dad said this plane boogies. All right, so there's that forearm right there. Hello, Clariual, whatever. V6 Sonoma, you got it. Hi, Jim Lee, Vic6 3D. Have you ever drawn using a computer or a tablet? What's a tablet? Computer. It's one of those things with the keyboards. Anyway, so so once you've drawn like the forearm here, go ahead and put the bicep. The bicep is kind of like a football shape here. Again, it's also an eye shape. But I don't like, the body doesn't really like symmetry. There's not a lot of purely symmetrical parts of a human body. In fact, I would say nothing really is purely symmetrical. So I would take that, think of it as a bicep, and then I would heat like 1/2 so it rises. And so that's kind of the shape of my eyes. Not my eyes, but the way I draw eyes, right? Like that. But it's also a good shape for a bicep. What happens when you draw everything symmetrical? It looks kind of artificial and mechanical. So here's the ball for the shoulders. the melted bicep, eggplant, ham hock. Ham hock's more of the thigh. Marcus Webb, MD, exactly. Juliano, CHS, how many hours do you draw per day? As many as I can. All right. So I think that's it. Now I'm going to finish off the spine. Before, if you remember, there was that kind of backwards S shape, which was the spine. I think that is the spine. This is going to be the edge of the lats over here on this side here. So we go from the bottom of that spherical shoulder and we pop it down like this. And then here's his booty. I don't know what else to call it. Apologize to all my younger followers. Hey Fritz Sorino. Hey Poop Kid, thank you very much. I ate those Wayfair, the cinnamon croissant. It was excellent. SM Cardi, thank you for the donuts as well. I have not indulged. They look very decadent. Later. Ute. All right, so now we'll go back to the knees. And from the knees, we are going to take these eggplants and we're going to basically upend them and lengthen them. So it's sort of the same thing. There's one. And there's two. Got it? Think about it this way. Forget that these are legs. Here's like the melted vase. Here's another melted vase. Kanger Banger, good morning. Thank you for the bits. Wildstorm CCG has resubbed for 20 months. Appreciate the support. General J. Bosco. Can't wait for the sketchbooks. Yeah. We're doing finally a sketchbook, which have almost every sketch I think I've done over the past 2 years of streaming. Excited for that. I think our goal is to do one every 2 years. Right? It's just weird to think that the stream has lasted 2 years already. It's gone by very, very quickly. But when you look at all the sketches, you go like, there was a lot of stuff that was done. All right. So we have this to start. This is our base gestural drawing. Einstein, Jeune Somme. They don't teach you stuff like this at Noka. I don't know what Noka is, but Angry Panda 888. Cheers from Canada. I think Toronto, right? Yeah, Crispy Egg Roll speaks truth. We have a Discord channel. For those of you who don't know, Discord is sort of it is a communications platform where people can post messages and artwork, and so that Discord channel is linked to the stream, and it kind of supplements the live streams, and people can kind of talk about stuff they've done on stream, or conventions that they're going to go to, or books they bought, or artwork they bought with other members of this forum. Whenever they so please. It's all free. Although there's sections you can only access if you're a sub. Sometimes I put, just so like in Patreon, I'll put like advanced looks at different pieces of art, works in progress, etc. on the paid part of it, asking them to, of course, keep it confidential. Minnesota Shriek. Very cool. Glad to help inspire. Pinhead James, hello from Holland. All right, so now this is a bad spot, like at the ankles, to end the sketch. That's what we call a bad tangent. You generally want to break it like mid-calf or something like that. So how are we gonna fix that? Well, normally I would just kind of redraw it, but we're not gonna do that. So I'm thinking. That's the sound of my brain thinking. Noble Clone Trooper has resubbed for 2 months. Thank you very much. New to the stream. Cars, Scotch tape a new sheet to this one? No. Everyone started racing. That's right. Ooh, jumping out of a cake. Brewmaster Holston. You could do that. I was thinking of a brick wall here, and then that could be surrender. Like he's popping out behind the wall. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking a cell where we draw bars. But I like the birthday cake one. Thank you. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal it as I look for an eraser. A larger eraser. 1 second. Oh. I have like thousands of dollars of art supplies, but at any given moment, I can't find anything. I am a professional artist. Do not worry. If this happens to you too, that means you too are a professional artist. Oh boy. Where the hell is my eraser? I'll be right back. All right. Look, bag of erasers. Oh, I do need to create an eraser emoji for sure. What's up, Two Below Marvel? Minnesota Shriek, why not use putty eraser? That's a good question. I am not a fan of the putty eraser, those gray kneadable erasers, because they leave behind a grit and also kind of a gummy residue on the paper, which when you ink, sometimes the ink will go over the gummy residue when you erase the sheet for real after you're done. Sometimes that gummy residue can be picked up by the gummy eraser or any eraser, and you lose the ink line or it lightens it. I just don't like the feel of it either. Don't need it. And I don't like a lot of American erasers because they're kind of hard and brittle, and they create a lot of very fine dust-like particles, which are gritty and get like very hard to sweep off the page. Superhero swimmer art. Snack time on the plane. I'll wait for you. Get me a scotch and soda. All right, so this is a mono eraser, plastic eraser from Japan. Tambao. I know it's from Japan because of the I don't know, Japanese kanji. It's very soft and malleable. And I can take it out of the case like this, and I can see how it's getting dark across the whole thing. I can kind of just go across the entire drawing like this. It doesn't leave like the pieces kind of clump together. I mean, it does have shavings, but it's not as bad. So now we're just basically lightening this all up so I can draw over the blueprint I have created. EJ Morges has resub, thank you very much. So when you're done, it should look dark like this. Right, I'm not using the edge, I'm using the flat surface here. I see we have some 13-year-olds in the stream. They love the farting sounds. My kids do too. All right, Uraha has resub for 16 months. Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing. See, that's some nerd love there. Right? Chunky Style 3030. Chewbacca. So if someone farts, you go, hey, Chewbacca. All right. Must be Mason, yes. I hate it when I'm losing eraser. I always go find a new one when I have a lost one. A bizarre token. I don't do that. I just buy them in advance, so I always have erasers. All right. Jedi 23. Do you blunt those lead sticks yourself, or do you buy them already blunt? It is legal in California to get blunt leads. No, they come pre-sharpened, but over time they just get dull, and I just continue. I just never sharpen them. For sharper lines, I use mechanical pencils where the lead's a lot thinner. How do you get rid of the dark erase part of the eraser? I don't. It just keeps. That's the thing. You don't have to keep it clean. You just keep using it dark like that, or yeah, dirty. Duck Helmet, just got my first pair of glasses. You should be happy. You can now see. Paper Falcon 4, hello. All right, is everyone caught up? There is a channel in Discord, I believe, is for draw-alongs. Let me see how you guys are coming along. Some people post the sketches they've been doing. Let's see. Kirihiko, are they able to post now, or are you going to open it up at the end? I don't see anyone in here. Alberto, you can clean your eraser with soapy water if you really feel. Yeah, you know what? It's actually simpler than that. You can just get clean paper, take the dirty side, and erase nothing, and vigorously, and see how it gets. Well, yeah, there you go. You go to see that top part. You can just erase off the dirty parts, but you don't need to. Like, if you just use the dirty part, it works. Okay. Mr. Raha 99, thank you. I like to think so. Kirihiko just opened up the channel. All right, we got Jeremy L. Joe testing. All right, Jeremy L. Joe, I think you've got it, but I want, if you could move your pelvis, the drawing part, forward, like 1.5 inches. All right, see where, all right, that is, you have yours over here underneath the torso. Push it out more, and you'll get better weight on the, it's like the weight is sitting on the back of his pelvis. Okay. Spengy G, same thing. Your Joker looks pretty much straight up and down. Evolved Default. K David, same. Celerant. Sleep Deprived. You gotta forward a little bit, but push it a little bit more. Push it a little bit more. Go for it. Delta Oracle 257. How good of a teacher am I that I basically point out this push pelvis thing, and so far 0 for 9 have done it. Blink, same thing. Golf Boy Sunday, same thing. I'll wait for you guys. Adjust your thrust, correct. All right, let's do this again. All right. Chest, center of gravity, chest or center of mass. Head, center of mass right there. Okay. Pelvis over here. I'm going to exaggerate it even more. And I'm going to push it out even more. All right? So what happens when you do this, if you do it correctly, guys, that first leg will go straight down. This other one will go back. This, I've now got it in a almost 40-degree angle. Got it? And then if you draw a center line from the bottom of his groin up through his belly button, through the middle of his pecs to the clavicle here, that's the line. It should look like that, not like this. Godurs. Where's his feet? Dude, please, come on. Happy now? All right. Yes, people love like drawing feet is no big deal. But really, is that what you want? It's gross. Yeah. And the way you draw feet, if you just notice, there's a straight tangent here. You draw, what would that be like? I was thinking like little buses, you know, with giant windshields. And if they're a bunch parked in a row, they go back in space like this. You just get rid of the wheels, and there you go. Right? Or you can do backward sixes as I've done over here. 6, 6, or D, 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 D. Boom. Okay, how do you come up with these things? Emptying one, I just make them up on the spot. All right. I don't actually think about it as buses or anything. I just draw it and then I realize, oh, it kind of looks like that. Maybe it's a good way for you guys to kind of remember what they look like. All right, I don't know what happened to my pencil. No, here it is. Okay. All right, so let's check the stream, the Discord channel, see if you guys are making the adjustments, moving the Tim Box. You could push it more forward. Queen City Amusement, same thing. Kolog, same thing. Rivian, same thing. Top Tier Sloth, same thing. Golf Boy Sunday, yes, you need to. All of you are currently failing my class. Jeff UTV, back to start. Jeremy L. Joe. Move that thigh. See, like, you're doing a Y. You're doing a Y thing with the legs. Take this, his right leg, and post it straight down, up and down, up and down. And then this one goes off to the side. So it's not this, it's this. Got it? Fail, 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 fail. Top Tier Sloth. All right. You need to rotate your, you have the thrust. Now you need to rotate your figure. See how from this center line, like that belly button to the back of the back here, see how that line is so much longer than this line? This arc, if this is A, B, C. If segment AB is shorter than BC, then A to C is not bisected by point B. Correct? Yes. Okay. So you need to basically take everything you've drawn and rotate it 15 degrees. So you're going to see the booty on the side here. And you're going to see this line where this thigh hits, and see how we create dimensional space? This is an arc like this, and this is more of a straight line. And by putting an arc, you're basically implying that the circle, that joint is circular like this, and this one is much more recessed into perspective. Lucasad, math and drawing. Unfortunately, that's the way I approach it. So please bone up on your geometry, your trigonometry. You're going to need a little bit of cosine and sine ability. And for your advanced students, maybe a little bit of derivatives. We might use a little bit of derivatives later. All right. Sinstar359, I love this stream, though I haven't drawn anything in over 25 years. Okay. Sidism, I failed maths. And English, apparently. Okay, Remy999888 has reset for 4 months. Remy999888, you don't need to do that, dude. Thank you very much. Nova Prime X has cheered 100 bits. Static Shock animated movie. May I say we need to be okay if that released in May 2021? Whatever you say. Apparently you have decided that it's going into production and it's going to be scheduled and marketed. Whatever you like. All right. Oh, man. Did I just sing it? Oh, that hurt. All right. Matches Malone has a resub. Thank you very much. Shirixian has subbed. Afterthought 2 has subbed. Francis Pett has also subbed using Prime. I feel like the caffeine's kicking in. Cardiac Sumo 1, yes. I think I would be a pretty bad teacher. How do you draw shoes? You draw feet and you put socks over them, and then you put the pieces of leather or pleather. All right. Okay. The amount of razor shavings on your table makes me want to clean it. Sorry, I will take them off here. There we go. All right. Okay. Are you guys caught up? I'm going to check the stream here. Let's see how we are going here. Oh, okay. K. David. Ooh, you are doing well. Blink. That's better. Evolve Default. You still need to kick it out. Golf Boy Sunday. Yes. Sleep Deprived. A little more arch to the back, I think. You could push it out some more, dude. Spenny G, sorry. I think you need to turn the chest. So at the end of the day, the chest, think about it this way. If there was body armor on his chest, like that would be one pec, and this other pec, like in your head you're thinking 2 pecs, but really I want you to think about 2 different shapes, one of which would be like this, and the other one is like that. If you look at these 2, they're very different, but when you put the 2 together, right, you have to think of them as 2 different shapes, even though we're drawing the same thing, right? So like that. Okay, and from this bottom part you can probably draw a line like that. The rib cage is kind of our 3 notches off those lines. All right. EOD Brent, when you started drawing, how did you defeat your inner critic? I stayed off the internet. Okay, so I did not let others judge me. Okay, now I think we've got all the shapes. All right, so from this clavicle, we draw a V shape that's slightly offset. Think of the Verizon symbol or check mark like that at the 3/4. Right, it's gonna be longer. Everything's gonna be longer on this side because the body is turned in space like this. What camera am I playing to? If things were straight, it would be like that. When I turn it if this is a straight on body, there's the clavicle, here's the chest, the abs, ribs, neck, okay. All right, so, okay. All right, so that's flat on. Flat on, you can see this. All right, flat on. Am I doing it? Oh, cool. Right there, right there. All right, flat on. Now we're going to take it and rotate it this way. See how everything on closer to my thumb is getting narrower, faster than it is on the other side, which is actually getting wider to you. Can you see that? Can you see that? Look at the pecs. I think that's the best one. The pecs are the same size there, roughly. See how that pec to the thumb is getting smaller? Oh, crap. They're both getting smaller. Whatever. All right, so yeah, cool hand tattoo. Get this tattooed. It's creepy. All right. Okay. Okay, you got to figure it out. So we're going to see this side of the body, and look how, like that panel, look how small it is over there. There's that center part right here, these two sort of shapes right there, the abs, okay, shoulder, weird melted bicep, eggplant, hand is a pentagon, one finger comes out of the top of the pentagon, off to the side, two fingers down, thumb sticks out, it's a bit of like a small eggplant shape there with two connectors back to the pentagon, round shoulder, melted bicep, another emoji, eggplant, that's the tricep, forearm, eggplant, pentagon on the side, finger here, rest of the fingers there, thumb over here, it's holding the gun. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers, confirmed, bottom of the gun. Okay. Pinhead James, so basically just take geometry. Yeah, it's geometry, but you need to understand it spatially, kind of how it all fits together. There's the neck, think of it like a priest's collar, and then here's the egg shape, slightly forward. The ear is off to the side, almost touches the thumb. We don't want it to touch the thumb because that would be a very bad tangent. So let's move the thumb up a little bit. There's the ear. From that top of the ear, we're going to create a band, sort of like a ring around Saturn. And then there's going to be a smaller ring that exists parallel to that top ring below. If you took the center of those two rings and drew a straight line, it would look like this. That would be the axis. Okay. Citizen Kulo, if you mind if I ask how you simplify phi, go back in the stream about 5 minutes. You'll see everything you need to know. All right. Now, in this outer ring, about, if this is the center axis, about halfway between here and here is the midpoint. That's going to represent the center of the head. So from the top of the head, if you draw a straight line, like, or an arc, sorry, that's the center brow. So off this, you have a V, just like this check mark here. The eyes are going to be balls underneath circular shapes on the Joker. The nose is going to jut off like this, like a 30, 60, 90 degrees triangle off that center line. The mouth is going to be here. And since he's the Joker, it's going to be kind of boomerang shaped. If you notice, there's something consistent. At this 3/4 mark, everything that's a V is actually skewed like that. So the mouth is skewed like this. It's like a Nike swoosh. The chin comes down here. The chin is also shaped like this. Normally from the front, it would be like that, right? Symmetrical. It's more like that because we're looking at it from a 3/4. If you go up to the center of the forehead, boom, sprout some hair. If it's a mohawk, it would look like this. A little too much, right? Let's tone it down. And then from the top of the ear, you come in on the temple. Comes in, and he's got a little bit of a receding hairline, so it goes like that. Kind of like a Roman helmet. Okay? Did I go too fast? If I did, you can scrub the whatever it is backwards 5 minutes and rewatch it. Come on, Jeremy, keep up. Just calling out people randomly. Let's see how you guys are doing. Have I used my last hour and a half or hour wisely? Or is it all slings and arrows? Okay. All right. Okay. Southie 94, a little disturbing. He took his Joker and basically cut it all up into little shapes, like he's some serial mass killer. It's very interesting. He has cut the Joker into different bite-sized edibles. Okay, just connect it all together, Southie. Just don't show people that image. Unchained 3D. Oh, he jumped ahead. He decided he's gonna already put the cake in. Look at that. Anyway. Okay. All right. So yeah, now we're gonna do the cake. It's gonna be about mid-thigh, like that. We're gonna do a slight upshot. We're gonna draw through the legs. Comes down like that. This line is going to parallel this line, and then it's going to pop open like that, right? The Art Jedi. Have you seen the new Star Wars trailer? How many people have seen the Star Wars trailer? Do we know? Let's see. Final trailer, number of views, 23 million views. That's not as high as I thought. That's worldwide. That's out of 6 billion. Shouldn't it be higher? I've seen it. It looks great. Paper Falcon 4. I was going to say 23 million views out of, what, 6 billion people in the world? 7 billion people? Yes. Convel 01. See what I'm saying? When you draw, you lose track of time. All right, so we have about 40 minutes left. 35 minutes or so. Wildstorm CCG, already have my ticket. Awesome. All right, so then let's go back to this backwards S. 1, 2, little concave line there. So we're ready now to ink. Well, no, maybe not. So we're going to put a tie, and a tie is essentially a long triangular element like that. From the edges of the neck where it meets the clavicle, we'll draw a V, but again, it's in perspective. So it should create this weird W effect here, right? V, W. Here's where his sleeves end. Since he's jumping up out of this thing, let's go ahead and put his coattails like they're coming out like this. Let's add a little bit of cake decoration. All right, and we're ready to roll. Let's get a marker. I've got a 0.8 here. It's probably a little too thick, but let me see if I've got a thinner one here. 0.1 is too thin. 0.1. 0.1. 0.1. The universe is trying to tell me something. 0.8. 0.8. 0.4. Beauty. All right, I'm gonna take this 0.4 here. And we usually start with the head, so we're gonna start with the eyebrows. Really exaggerate them out like this. Sort of like a sum symbol or an S, right? There's the S. And then I draw his eye, a circular eye. And on this one, the nose is going to cover up, so I do the outer part of the eye. Here's the nose. The shadow of the nose underneath. The upper part of the lip. So that part that's away from us is really short. This part is super long. It goes up, curves up. Implants in the side of the cheek. Sort of draw a U, wide U there. Mirror that upward trend. Come back down. It's kind of like a fish, a whale. Can you see this whale? Can you see the whale? Someone confirmed the whale. Do you see the whale? Yes, whale, finally. Get you guys off this Star Wars hating kick here. All right. The whale has a smile. Just draw like some dots in the middle of the whale. That represents the gap between the teeth. Drop a couple lines down. Lower lip has a shine in the middle, so I keep it open. The chin pops out. If you notice, I just bend it in just slightly like that. Just makes it feel a little bit more organic. A couple lines down like this. That represents the creases in the eye and the face. Wrinkles on the side. A little bit of dark shadow because he can't sleep well at night. That represents right here, the dark shadows there. The other cheekbone pops out like this. If you notice, I didn't even draw the top part of the nose. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can kind of draw the top there, maybe the tip right there. And I don't even have to draw the rest in there. The mind kind of fills it in. The brow sticks out. There's the eyes. We're going to render a little bit here to make it even more pronounced. Nostril line there. When you lift up the eyebrow, it creates creases and wrinkles in the forehead. And I draw like the shadow of the teeth at the bottom. There's a lot going on in this very small little head here. Now here comes the hair. I'm not going to go as large as I did in the outline, but it's exaggerated to kind of show kind of the overall intent, the shape. The ear goes right here. Now the head's going to throw a shadow over the neck. He's a wiry guy, so I imagine you see all the ligaments and tendons in the neck. It's narrow. Here's his tie that we showed. And the collar. We drew these V lines over here. They're going to come in handy for the collar. Or the vest, excuse me. So that line goes down here. This line goes down here. That represents the lapel. But that vest is right here. Got it? I'll let you look at this for a second, get caught up. Red Robo Buffalo 4 has sub. Thank you very much. DOGC Brian, Wolfie Poo, Pasaluca, and Snickety Sick. Snickety Snicked. Thank you guys for subbing. All right. Button 1, 2, 3, bottom of the vest, also a W shape, right? You just have to be able to draw W's and V's in perspective. You draw W's and V's in perspective. I'm like looking at the microphone like it's a camera. Draw W's and V's in perspective and like you're halfway done. All right. Put some eyelashes here. Now, when you get to the shoulder, the clothes go over it. So, form that kind of undulation. Goes down and back up. Okay. From this point where it goes up, go ahead and draw the slot where the arm is. And I will do both at the same time because they are spatially related to one another. Right? If you see, these are very parallel lines. We don't see as much of this side of the chest, so it goes like that. I'm going to switch to a thicker marker because I'm out of the delicate areas, which is the face. Okay. Here's the top part of the melted bicep. It goes into the socket here. The folds and wrinkles come out of this area here. The bottom part of the arm goes here. From the opening of the sleeve, come down here, again, folds there, 1, 2 buttons there, okay. Same thing over here. Here's the rest of the shoulder, the bicep, wrinkles here, melted bicep, wrinkles there. It's kind of a M shape here, M1 or N1. Elbow here, which represents the bottom of that eggplant, back up to that ring. Right? We got a raid. Day age. I'm sorry if I'm screwing it up. Thank you. Welcome in. Got a party at 27. Hello. Waz Bubbles has subbed as well. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Good to have you guys here. All right. And then I draw a circle which represents the edge of the glove. Draw that little eggplant that represents the thumb, this part of the thumb here. And I draw a shadow underneath that thumb, like right there. That's what this shadow is right there. Got 1, 2. That little line represents shadow of the palm right there. And there is this line here, which represents that palm. Line right there. So, and it's a glove, so you can put a little couple of wrinkles in. A shadow that represents this part here, this part. They're all just sneaky tricks. It's like I'm not thinking of drawing the actual finger. I'm just thinking of drawing like, hey, if I put a black shape here, the mind will think that I have created a three-dimensional space. So those two black, if you think about it, they're two black dots on a white field with two black lines that shoot out. But when you look at it as a totality, you see bent fingers. Okay? Same thing from here. A couple wrinkles, shoot out. Wrinkles always, folds come out of where joints move, right? So if you think about, if you even had gloves, every time you bend, the wrinkles are going to come out of the bent creases. So when they come from this point here, this point here, this point here, this point here. Okay? Shofumachi 1, Chris Basler Design, and Cal Ronan have all subbed. Thank you very much. All right. Now we're going to put the crotch here. Again, the same reason all the folds come out of this area. The folds come out of here. N1, backwards N1. That's the hip bone right there. There's one. There's the other hip bone right here. He's going to have a cummerbund. Although cummerbund in a vest, I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but no one's going to know. Okay? Come down here from the crotch. Here's that 32-degree angle. Straight down. The butte. Tailcoat. Now, the cake hides the legs, so we can just basically go in, and I'm going to make it more of like a real cake rather than a paper cake, so the edges are kind of more like styrofoam kind of popping. It's a series of like arcs, which represents the dough. Chaos theory is such that the faster, I don't know what I'm trying to say. When things are thrown, things that are thrown first accelerate faster when they fall, so they're further apart. So 1, 2, boom. But not always, because if it's too consistently the same, it throws off this whole notion that it's all random. It's like random, but with a you want to put something behind too to create that sense of three-dimensionality. Oops, looks like something's coming out of his butte. But there's going to be basically more down here and fewer pieces out here. Damn the moon, correct, sir. Alright, and then the top part of the frosting of the cake is kind of an irregular line. Using the structure that I put down there. Come down here. There's a notch, another notch. It's going to come in importantly here. I'm going to put a weird symbol. Okay, it's wavy because it's icing. Okay. Whimsical Tortoro has subbed for 7 months. Awesome. You guys getting this? Do I want to look on stream? Spenny G, I'm too far behind now. Gonna catch up later. Going to enjoy Jim doing his thing now. I'm sorry if I'm speeding up a little bit. I just have to get this done in the proper amount of time. Here's the bottom layer. See how I kind of left that open because I knew the icing would be there, although I don't know if that even works. Notch, notch. Okay. Here's the edge of the glove, a very similar sort of arc that mirrors the inside of that sleeve. The thumb hangs down over there, so I usually draw the thumb first. The trigger finger is there. And then the other fingers cascade down, right? It's like buses lined up in a row, or the same thing in perspectives, getting smaller, going back. So 1, 2, 3, bottom of the gun, palm. That's all you need to do. And then we'll make this a 1911 handgun, 45 caliber. They all look the same. This is the slide. These lines here allow the hand to grip the slide and pull it back. Here's the hammer. Safety. Magazine. Okay. Have I lost everyone behind? Okay. People are like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I gotta draw the stick that's coming out of the pistol. I need this to be straight, so I'm gonna find a straight edge. If I can find a straight edge, oh, here we go. There's a straight edge right here. Here's the angle of the gun. The stick's gonna come out of the top hole. There we go. If you're wondering how can that stick be longer than the gun itself, it's because it's collapsing. So I'm going to make this one a little bit wider here. There we go. Because there's always that person in the crowd like, how's that possible? Those claws can't come out of that forearm. It's too long. They're too long. All right. Lettering, you're gonna have to figure out yourself how to do that in perspective. I can barely do it myself, honestly. I'll fake it a little bit here. Sid Husum, I know there are people like that. Trust me, I've been around the block. dits and dats. Put a couple more lines to kind of separate this all out. Now, this represents the line work part of the competition. I am going to take a look online very quickly. Southern 94 has reconnected the body after cutting it up with his bandsaw. Thank you very much. Unchained 3D, looking good. Vault Default, I think I've lost you a little. You're a little behind, but looking good. A bunch of Cyrillic, I don't even know if that's a word. A lot of Greek letters, I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Looks like you're doing it digitally. K. David, looking good. Duck Helmet, yikes, very good. Decided to do a less pronounced grin, but that's all good. Yeah, it's coming along. Cirxian says, I got a jet, maybe I'll finish later. Maybe. That's a sign of commitment. Maybe I'll become a comic book artist. Okay, Golden Hands #1 has resubbed. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for subbing and supporting the stream. We still have a little more time, so I'm going to get a brush and ink. What happened to my ink? I guess I'm not getting a brush and ink. I do have an ink brush. I can use this. Hopefully it has some ink in it. We'll find out. Alright, so now with this, I'm going to push the shadows to make it feel more three-dimensional. First, I'm going to make the gun black, and that means leave a little bit of a rim, sort of highlight at the top. This ink brush thing is a little thick, but I'll work with it very lightly, kind of hit. Okay. Okay. I'm going to put a dark shadow at the bottom. And it creeps up on those folds. And I'm going to soften that edge by doing little dits. And I'm going to do a shadow on this part of the jacket. Bring it down into the bottom part and then up with these folds. And then on the other side of this jacket, but leave the buttons white. And it's a lot more, because we're seeing the flattest part of this eggplant, it's wider over here. Buy an eggplant, turn it around in the light, you'll see what I'm talking about. Palm has a shadow underneath here. The glove casts a shadow on the wrist underneath here. The back part of the head has a shadow. Let's put a little bit of black into the hair. Okay. Shadow underneath the chin. Let's make the tie black with a couple, like little, maybe one little highlight like that. The back side of this his jacket, maybe leave the top part a little white to kind of show that the material has thickness to it. It's not paper thin. I turn the paper because I have a favorite stroke. It's easiest to kind of control the pen at certain angles, so it's easiest to accommodate my hand rather than trying to master every stroke. Now over here I'm gonna go ahead and throw a couple shadows over here. I forgot to put a flower thing, so I'm going to draw it here, and then I'm going to fix it in post with whiteout, black shadow here, a couple dots. Same thing that I did on the forearms, I'm kind of doing on the legs. And then if I hit the tip of this marker very fast, just a slight tip, barely touch it, you get thinner lines. Very tricky. Okay. Same thing. Oh, caught that. That would have been bad. I definitely left a mark. And then we're going to add a shadow of the icing. I smeared the ink here a little bit. And then I'm going to just do it on the underside the bat symbol here rather than all of it to kind of make this feel more pronounced. As we near the 2-hour mark, I just want to thank our mods, if you guys can help me out. Kirihiko, Crispy Egg Roll, Poop Kid. These guys work tirelessly behind the scenes to bring you the finest stream available. Let's go ahead and make it darker there. A little bit of shadow here. Slight shadows right there and there. Yeah, thank you to the mods. We also do a fun thing at the end where we go and raid someone else. We find another creative and we kind of spring our numbers on them. Nova Primex has cheered. Do you think Amalgam Comics could ever come back? It's doubtful. Doubtful. I think Marvel and DC are both healthy on their own, so less of a need to do that. Golden Hands has also subbed. Thank you very much. So now I'm going to go back in and lightly erase what I have, hopefully without smearing anything. And I lightly erase it because what happens is the pencil lead has filled in some of the line work so to the eye it looks like the line is complete, but when you erase it, you start seeing the gaps where the pencil lead was kind of doing the work of the ink. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with a 0.4 marker and just clean up and tighten up some of these lines. But anyway, what we're going to do at the end of the stream, in like another 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we're going to go find another creative and just kind of say hello and hopefully kind of introduce them to a wider audience. There are not a lot of big name creative streamers. I think the biggest name, as far as I've seen, is Bob Ross, and Bob Ross is no longer with us, hasn't been with us for a long time, so I do like the idea of kind of sharing the love of art and producing creative work. So you can see I'm just kind of taking some of these dits and dats of shadows I put in and making them into something by extending the lines, tapering the lines a little bit, pulling them out, disguising the fact that they're blobs of ink, right? Sometimes it just means putting little dits, like rendering like this, here and there. extending some of these lines. And then taking this cummerbund and kind of rendering to the side to make it a slightly different texture. Almost like it's, I don't know what material. Something else, wool, something scratchier. And if you notice, if you put slight shadows under lines like I have to kind of go throughout the whole thing and apply it evenly to make it look correct. If you only apply it here and there, it looks odd, so you have to be consistent in how you approach it. And all right, I think I'm done except for the whiteout part. Again, pulling out dark areas into light. I've got whiteout over here. Hans 007, Hans 007, Nevis, or Nevis, it's an island in the Caribbean. Okay, I'm going to clean up the area that I smudged. This flow on this one. Oh, there we go, finally. Sometimes it gets a little dried up. I'm going to fix the flower that I had here. And elongate the chin a little bit. Maybe break up some of these lines in here a little bit. Fix the gun. I think the lines were not as parallel as I would like them to be. So I put white out, knowing I'm going to go back in with black line to fix that. Clean up some of the edges here that got a little beat up when I was kind of moving quickly. And put a couple lines like this. Just kind of inspired a little bit to kind of create that sense of explosion. And then go back in with a marker and continue that. Okay, I want this to dry very quickly. While we're waiting for this to dry, I'm going to load up where we're going on the raid. Okay, now let this dry. I think it's dry. If it's not dry, I can work around the edges. Just stay away from the big globular areas here. So there's that. Just cleaning up the edges and just beautifying it a little bit. And then fixing this flower. Just adding a little more detail. These hairlines, just thin them out a little bit. The one disadvantage to the whiteout marker is that it's kind of a set thickness, and so to get a thinner line, you have to put the thick line down and then go back with ink, black ink, and draw around it like I am going to, like right here. Change the angle of that elbow a little bit. and clean up some of these areas here. And I noticed I kind of screwed up over here. The line kind of went over a little too much. And I think I have it. All right, so I want to thank all of you guys for drawing along. We did something a little ambitious today in doing a full figure. I look forward to actually logging into Discord and seeing what you guys have produced. One other thing I'm gonna add. Little texture lines, like this is also open. Let's just kind of indicate that there's some substance here. It's not open like it is there. Okay. You can go on and on with like these little dits and dats. Every little, and honestly, when I spend like 6 to 8 hours on a cover, it is literally going in and adding these little small details here and there that I don't know if people even notice, but the sum total of it makes a difference, I think. Kind of your enjoyment of it. Alright, so here we are. That is the final finished product at the correct angle to the camera, I believe. Thank you guys for spending your Sunday day, morning, evening with me all around the world. Very cool. It's fun having you guys tune in, doing a draw along. I will post some online, a random assortment on my Instagram, so look out for that. And come join me as we go raid this person, all right? Take care, guys. See ya.